So now we are going to discuss regarding lecture number 34 review, the need for end-to-end protocol. We know that IP is just going to have a connectivity between two computers. But when we are talking about the UDP or transport layer protocol, they are going to create a relationship or a connectivity between the application level services, right? That is why we might have the application level services connectivity at the transport layer, right? UDP, one is the user datagram protocol we have discussed, characteristics of UDP we have discussed, then connection-less paradigm we have discussed, then we have discussed message-oriented interface, UDP communication semantics, arbitrary interaction, support for multicast and broadcast, and endpoint identification, right? The two concepts were left yesterday regarding the UDP datagram format that I didn't discuss yesterday. This is what the UDP datagram consists of, right? There are 32 bits from 0 to 31. You might have on the left hand side, you have a UDP source port, and on the right hand side, you have the UDP destination port. Then we have the UDP message length, and then UDP checksum, and then you have data and many other things, right? Not other things, but other control information. But there is these are the main, fields which might be present inside your UDP datagram format, right? So the second thing is, I have told in this particular datagram, you cannot see any sort of source IP or destination IP, right? That I have told you yesterday. There is only a source port and destination port is going to be mentioned in this particular datagram format. And make sure these port numbers are the लॉजिकल पोर्ट नंबर्स, दे आर नॉट द फिजिकल. जैसे हमारे पास सीरियल पोर्ट या पैरेलल पोर्ट्स होती हैं फिजिकली कंप्यूटर के बैक एंड के ऊपर, दे आर नॉट सच लाइक दैट. They are, I mean to say that the software ports, and they are certain numbers are being assigned for these particular port numbers, right? So that is why you have the UDP and source port and UDP destination port. I mean source port from where the data has to go, and the destination port where it has to arrive, or something related to that. Then you have the message length, the third field, and the fourth field is UDP checksum. I have told you yesterday that UDP checksum might contain a pseudo random value that is going to give us the information regarding whether the data is going towards the right direction or not, right? If if there is no any value is being calculated, if all the bits are 0, then there must not be any checksum is going to be calculated at the receiver's end. But if the value of the checksum is not 0, it is an arbitrary values between 0 and 1, then this means that there is a pseudo random value is being added, and that pseudo random value is going to give us a little bit confirmation regarding how the data, whether the data is being transmitted to the right destination or not. This is what the value that is being calculated at the receiver's end, and then both values are being checked, and then it is going to be decided that whether the data is being for the right destination or not. Yesterday, someone has asked me this question regarding that how we are going to ensure that how the data is being, whether the information that is being transmitted through the UDP is being delivered rightly or not. So I have told you that it is a connection-less protocol. There must not be any such type of mechanism through which we are going to ensure the delivery, but this mechanism, pseudo random value that is being added at the checksum bit stream that we are going to add it, and this is going to ensure that the direction of the data, that whether the data that we are sending is going towards the right direction or not, right? So this is a bit the point is to understand that we have to add that particular value inside a checksum, and that checksum is going to be calculated at the receiver's end, and then you people are well aware of that source and destination checksum are going to be calculated. If they are same, this means that the data has been arrived in the right way, and if they are not same, this means that there must be some problem with the data. So this is how your UDP datagram format would look like. These are the certain fields of the UDP datagram format and all that, right? Now this is how the UDP encapsulation process is going to be executed. If you can look onto this particular diagram, you might have the UDP data area at the topper level, right? And then you have the IP data area, and then you have the frame data area. Now see, this is very important point to understand कि आपके पास होता क्या है कि at the transport layer you have the UDP and TCP protocols are working. That is what you can call it as a TCP segment, right? Now, what is going to be happen? The data is going to be encapsulated in a TCP segment. I mean, TCP segment might contain the UDP and TCP information, and that particular segment is being transmitted to the network layer or an internet layer in TCP/IP model, network layer in OSI model. तो जैसे ही आपका डेटा ट्रांसमिट होकर नीचे आएगा तो आईपी डेटा एरिया के अंदर यूडीपी इंफॉर्मेशन इज गोइंग टू बी इनकैप्सुलेटेड इनसाइड एन आईपी डेटा एरिया, राइट? And IP data area means that it contains the source IP and destination IP and all other control information. I mean, I have already discussed with you. Then when data is being transmitted from the network layer to the data link layer, it would be transmitted into a frame data packet, frame data, right? All the information that is being coming from the encapsulated IP data frame, IP data area has to be encapsulated in terms of frame, and then that information is going to be transmitted onto the physical layer towards the destination. So this is nothing but a just I mean representation how your information is being encapsulated from top to bottom in an TCP/IP model or a TCP/IP reference model, right? We can also think about an OSI reference model. We can also think about like an TCP/IP reference model. Both are not same, but definitely the names are different, but actually the working responsibility or the working execution of those particular layers are almost same, right? So you must be clear regarding this. Then this is the end of your UDP discussion that we have started yesterday. Now we have to start with the TCP reliable transport services. Now we know that TCP is major transport protocol in the TCP/IP suite, right? It uses unreliable datagram service offered by IP when sending data to another computer, provides reliable data delivery services to the application. Now, as we know about the UDP and IP protocols, they are connectionless, so they are unreliable, but the TCP is connection oriented and it is going to provide the reliability services for the application which are running at a particular layer, right? So the need for reliable transport, reliability is fundamental in a computer system. We know that reliability is very much important. Until and unless we are not getting acknowledgement regarding our data, we must not be sure that whether our data is being received at the receiver's end or not. This is very important for the data which is very important or which is very, I mean to say that, trustable or something like that, which is very private. I mean, we must have to be very much sure regarding that type of data, whether it is being received or not, right? Software in the internet must provide the same level of reliability as a computer system. Software must guarantee prompt and reliable communication without any loss, duplication and change in the order. Actually software ये किसको कह रहा है पता है? ये TCP सॉफ्टवेयर को कह रहा है, ठीक है जी? आपके पास ये टर्म यूज कर रहा है सॉफ्टवेयर की TCP. I mean what they think that the TCP protocol is actually a TCP software that is running on the transport layer, right? So actually he is using the term software as TCP software, right? So TCP software in the internet must provide the same level of reliability as a computer system. And the third point is TCP software must guarantee prompt and reliable communication without any loss, duplication and change in an order, right? I mean any loss of data, any duplication of data and any change in the order of data must not be, I mean to say that executed or must not have to be happen if you are sending your data by using TCP communication, right? Or TCP software communication. So transmission control protocol reliability is the responsibility of the transport layer. I have told you that reliability is the responsibility of transport layer, but not the UDP protocol. UDP आपके पास reliable नहीं है, लेकिन TCP जो है वो reliable है. In TCP/IP, TCP provides reliable transport services. अब reliability आपके पास transport layer पे कौन provide करता है? आपका transmission control protocol. Most internet application uses TCP as no other protocol has proved to work better, right? Most of the internet applications are using TCP protocol in order to confirm whether your data is being being reached at the destination or not, and ensure the reliability at this particular layer. So services that are being offered by, I mean to say that the TCP, the one is called as a connection oriented services. I mean connection oriented services are going to be represented are going to be inform us that whether the data is being received at the receiver's end. It is, first of all, the connection is going to be created, and then the acknowledgement would be received from the receiver's end. This is what you can call it as a connection oriented service. Point to point, I mean your data is being read from the sender to the receiver in a point to point communication. Third is complete reliability. As already I have discussed with you that the data that is being sent and received through the TCP protocol is completely reliable. I mean, we must not say that data on the way it might be, if it is going to be lost, the information would be sent to the receiver, a sender, that you have to resend that particular type of data or that particular packet of data because on the way it is lost, right? Then you have the full duplex communication. I think you people are well aware about the full duplex communication. I mean full duplex concept. I mean sending and receiving can be done at the same time. That's what you can call it as a full duplex communication. Stream interface. Then you have your data is being moving in a single stream. I mean that is not in the type divided streams. It is going to be moved in a single stream. That is also the characteristics of your TCP protocol. That is what streaming interface is being provided by the TCP. Reliable connection startup, graceful connection shutdown. I think if you do remember that I have told you yesterday that three-way handshake is going to be created when a TCP connection is going to be executed. ठीक है जी. Three-way handshake में आपके पास क्या होता है? This is very important to understand. Three-way handshake में आपके पास आपका जो sender और receiver है, first of all they are going to create a connection. I mean that for that particular connection you don't require any type of data transfer. उसके दरमियान आपका कोई data transfer नहीं होता. I mean the sender has to send a bit to the receiver that I want to start sending data, right? Sorry, I want to make a connection with you. Now what is going to be happen? Your receiver has to acknowledge the sender has acknowledged received the acknowledge bit from the receiver. Once it has acknowledged, then it would be sending a method sending another bit to the, I mean to say that receiver. Now I'm starting to send my data, right? This means that a three-way handshake in which your data and so your sender and receiver are going to create a connection first. Once the connection is being established, after that the sender would send data and receiver would receive that particular data. So that is what you and the second last point is going to tell us, that reliable connection startup. I mean your reliable connection startup is going to be executed when your data is being transmitted, when the data is about to transmit it through the TCP, right? Once the sender and receiver has finished sending and receiving the data, then receiver has to send a particular information to the receiver, the sender, that I want to terminate a connection, right? He would send it would send the information to the sender would acknowledge that information, and then I mean successfully that particular connection is going to be closed, and then no more data can be transferred between these two entities or between these two parties. So this procedure in which the connection is being created by sending and receiving the information by sender and receiver is called as three-way handshake. तो ये चीज़ आप याद रखिएगा, क्योंकि इस तरह की चीज़ें आपके पास एग्जाम में पूछी जाती हैं वाइवा के अंदर, और ये कि व्हाट इज थ्री वे हैंडशेक, तो यू मस्ट बी नोइंग दैट वेयर इट इज गोइंग टू बी implied, right? So this is what these are the general characteristics which are going to be I mean possessed by the TCP protocol. Then end-to-end service and datagrams. Application can request a connection. TCP connections are called virtual connections created by software only. Internet does not provide software or hardware support for the connection. TCP मोटर बंद करो, मोटर नहीं की. TCP connections are called virtual connections created by software only. Internet does not provide software or hardware support for the connections. TCP software modules on two computers create an illusion of a connection. अब देखें यहाँ पे what he is going to tell you that the TCP is going to create a virtual connection. Most of the time people are going to be confused when they are being asked regarding that whether they are the physical connection or the virtual connection. देखें यहाँ पे कोई physical connection आपके पास नहीं होता. They are the port numbers and port numbers are being issued to every sender and the receiver. In future, I would be showing you an example regarding this, right? So these are the virtual connection. There is no any connectivity between hardware and software which is running over the over that particular platform, right? They are purely a virtual connection that are being created between end-to-end devices on the transport layer, right? So internet does not provide software or hardware support for the connections. I mean, there is no any support from the internet that is being provided for that particular virtual connections. So TCP software modules on two computers create an illusion of a connection. I mean, I have told you that the two applications which are running at different computers are going to create an illusion of a virtual connection between the devices, right? So this is what you can call it as an end-to-end service and datagrams. तो ये चीज बड़ी important है कि you have to tell that कि end-to-end delivery is going to be provided by the transport layer, right? So most of the time question is going to be asked that कि जी आपके पास जो है ना end to end services जो हैं वो कौन सी layer provide करती है. तो end to end services are being provided by the transport layer. So you must be knowing all these things कि हमारे पास कौन सी layer किस तरह की services provide कर रही होती हैं, ठीक है जी. Then you have end to end services and datagrams. TCP use IP to carry messages. TCP messages encapsulated in IP datagrams and sent to the destination. On the destination host, IP passes the content to TCP. Now see, as I have told you that your ICMP supports your IP. In the same way, TCP is going to support the IP protocol also. As IP is connectionless protocol, definitely TCP is connection oriented protocol. So TCP is going to support IP in order to have a communication between multiple devices over the network, right? So what he is saying that TCP uses IP to carry message and IP uses TCP to carry messages, ठीक है. तो आपके पास ये दोनों जो है ना वाइस वर्सा यूज हो रहे होते हैं और एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट कर रहे होते हैं. TCP message encapsulated in IP datagrams and sent to the destination. We know that from the transport layer when the data is being reached at the network layer, तो आपका जो TCP segment है, it is going to be encapsulated in IP datagram. IP के अंदर वो encapsulate हो जाता है and then it is being sent to the data link layer और वहाँ पे वो frame header के अंदर encapsulate हो जाता है and finally it would be sent to the destination. In the same way on the destination host, IP passes the content to TCP. अब जब आपके पास ultimately जब जैसे ही वो receiver end के ऊपर receive होता है तो ultimately IP information would be sent based on your IP information, your data would be sent to the TCP layer. Ultimately जब हम sender end के ऊपर होते हैं तो sender end के ऊपर हमारा data encapsulate हो रहा होता है from the transport layer to the network layer to the data link layer. This is what you can call it as an encapsulation. But when the data is being received at the receiver's end, तो data आपके पास क्या हो रहा होता है, de-encapsulate हो रहा होता है. I mean from the data link layer to the network layer, then from the network layer to the TCP layer, to the transport layer. तो यहाँ पे de-encapsulation होती है, वहाँ पे आपके पास IP को TCP सपोर्ट करता है और यहाँ पे आपके पास TCP को IP सपोर्ट कर रहा होता है. So that's fine. Then we have end-to-end service and datagrams. Now if you can look upon this particular diagram, तो आपको नजर आ सकता है कि this is host A and this is host B. Make sure your application and TCP and your transport layers are not coming under that particular category. Communication system as viewed by TCP would be something look like that. IP, network interface, and then you have the physical layer, and then you have a router. Router only consider your IP and your network interface. It would not consider your transport layer. Yes, the transport layer information would be coming down to the IP layer and it is being encapsulated inside an IP, and then it would be sending back to the host B. So this is a complete mechanism how your end-to-end services and datagrams are going to be executed, or I mean how these things are going to be executed in a normal way, right? This is achieving reliability. The major problem in the reliable delivery are unreliable delivery by the underlying communication system and the system reboot. अब देखें ये अब आपके पास दो इश्यूज हैं TCP के अंदर. एक आपके पास इशू ये है कि unreliable delivery by the underlying communication system, by any communication system, अगर आपके पास कोई delay आ जाता है system के अंदर तो आपका data deliver नहीं हो पाता. So this is the one big disadvantage of your TCP protocol. The second point is your system reboots. Now let's suppose the two applications are in connection, right? The one is sending the data, the other one, I mean let's suppose computer A and computer B, जिसके ऊपर दो applications run हो रही हैं and they are being, I mean to, yes, अब उसमें हमारे पास क्या होता है कि yes, I mean computer A and computer B, there are two applications in which your TCP connection has been created. Now computer B is sending the data, in the meantime your computer A has been rebooted. ठीक है, अब अगर आपका कंप्यूटर A रीबूट हो गया है तो अब वो डेटा सेंड होता जाएगा और कंप्यूटर A को वो डेटा रिसीव नहीं होगा because your computer is being rebooted. So what we have to do in this particular situation? Now these are the two problems which are being exhibited by this particular scenario, and we shall be discussing the solution to this problem in the next few lectures, but these are the two problems that we can come across during this type of service delivery or something like that, right? One is a system reboot and the second one is unreliable delivery by the underlying communication system. I mean, let's suppose if we are using one communication system and the other communication system, both have some delays, right? So due to that particular delay, unreliability might occur during that particular communication, right? Then we have the summary of this particular lecture. We have discussed UDP datagram format, UDP encapsulation. We have discussed TCP, reliable transport services, the need for reliable transport, the services provided by the TCP, end-to-end service and datagrams, and the achieving reliability scenarios. So this is the summary that we have, I mean, regarding our both concepts, transport layer as well as our transport layer services like your UDP and TCP.